Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ryan Wilkin with On Point Insurance Strategies. Today we're going to be talking about the Eagle Premier product, underwritten through Americo. Works great in our call center. Before you guys log into the dialer, I want everybody to make sure that they print off this Eagle Premier Series Teleapplication worksheet and have it on your desk. You're going to be entering in the client's information on this application, so you have it at the ready when you do a three-way call with the insurance company. Again, this is not something that you're going to actually turn in. You're not going to send it to Americo. You're just going to write the information down so you have it handy. And when you do a three-way call with the insurance carrier, you can provide them the information in a nice, timely manner. The reason why you're going to write all this information down is you first got to figure out if the client will qualify for the Eagle Premier product before you make that three-way call. So as you can see, there's a series of health questions. 1 through 3 are certainly not decline questions. They're just going to help you determine if your client is a smoker or not and his height and weight. But questions 4 through 12 are the decline questions. So if your client does answer a yes to one of these health questions, there is no need to go further and you need to transition to a guarantee issue product. That being said, before you log into your dialer, please make sure you print off this worksheet and have a few on your desk. You're going to want to fill this out before you make the phone call with the insurance company. So why do we sell this Eagle Premier product? It's the easiest product to sell over the phone. There's no electronic application. There's no paper application that requires a wet signature. There's really not even a voice application. All you're really doing is getting the information, doing a three-way conference call, and handing it off to the insurance company to put the plan in force. They'll go ahead and basically review all of these question and answers that you've already done with your client, but they're going to ask it word for word. So what I like to do before I make the phone call is I like to rip through these health questions real quick. I might not be asking them all word for word, but I am going to basically try to get the gist of it to make sure this client does qualify, okay? If he does qualify, i.e. he's answered no to questions 4 through 12, you can go ahead and run the rate and make the conference call. Now, how do you determine a rate? Americo has a pre-calculated rate chart that you're also going to want to print out, have on your desk. It's broken down by age as well as premium. So if you got a 56-year-old and he wants to spend $40 a month, you'll know the exact face amount. So when you start receiving some of these live call transfers, you might end up getting a lead from a client who wants $12,500 of coverage. Well, a lot of times a client wants $12,500, but they can't afford $12,500. So you're going to quote them a $12,500 plan. But if it's too expensive and they fall off of their chair, you need to pick them up, wipe them down, get them back on the chair, and provide them 3 additional rates. And that's where the pre-calculated rates come into play. I like to quote a $40, a $60, and an $80 a month plan. Why? Because a lot of my clients who want $12,000 or $15,000 of coverage would like it, but they can't afford it. So I like to tell my clients, hey, look, I understand. Most of my clients can't afford a plan like this either. But what's most important is that we find you a product that's affordable and comprehensive. And that's why I'm doing a $40, a $60, and $80 a month plan, to let these clients know that there are other plans available to them, because some coverage is better than no coverage, right? You know, I also promise my clients that, look, you know, if they choose a $60 a month plan, but they really wanted $15,000 of insurance, what I do promise them is I say, look, this is what I plan on doing. Before your birthday, I promise to call you back. And if you are still in need for additional insurance, we can go ahead and add it then. The rate will be the same, right? But what I want my clients to understand is I'm not here to oversell them insurance. I want to put a comprehensive yet affordable plan together, get them used to making these small premium commitments on a monthly basis. So if they do want to add coverage later, we can do so before that birthday change, okay? So make sure you always run a rate for what they're looking for, but also come back with a $40, a $60, and $80 a month plan if they can't afford that initial rate that they're looking for. So we got this company, Americo, this product, Eagle Premier. It's a great product. You can get in and off the phone with the insurance company in under 15 minutes. There is no e-sign requirement. There is no voice sign requirement. It's just a simple phone call
And this will allow you agents in the call center to get on the phone, get a policy approved and issued before you hang up, and be back on the phone within 30 seconds. All right, so here's the Eagle Premier Series worksheet. Pre-qualify, do the conference call. Now, we also have a client presentation. This was actually a flip chart presentation that our agents used to use at the kitchen table, belly to belly with their clients. They see me, I see them, they know I'm real, they know they're real, and we go ahead and we work through our sales pitch through a flip chart kitchen table presentation. Well, now with COVID, it's becoming more difficult to be meeting some of our clients at the kitchen table. So I would recommend, if you need to build more rapport with your clients over the phone, I would recommend creating a Zoom meeting call, a short call, just so they could see your face, and you can go over this flip chart final expense presentation. Goes over why they need final expense insurance. The government, Social Security, only pays $255. That's not going to cover anything. That's why there's a gap. That's why we need a plan today to make sure that at their passing, their family, their children, or their surviving spouse isn't left with a huge bill. You know, funerals at a minimum are $12,000, $15,000. That's not even talking about final expenses. There's a lot of final expenses on top of that, credit cards, you name it. So it's always important to not only build the need with your client over the phone, but really kind of give them the education that they're going to need to realize that this coverage not only will help them, take care of that final expense, but it might also take care of some mortgage payments, credit cards, utility bills, outstanding medical bills, a big deal when it comes to a loved one passing away. So make sure that you're building the need through a Zoom call if you need to build a little bit more rapport with this client presentation that we're going to provide you. Now, if you don't happen to do a client Zoom call and you're able to build enough rapport over the phone, we have given you the words to say and how to say them from start to finish for all of your live call transfers you're going to be receiving soon. In fact, the very beginning of our script here, you're going to see that, hey, SOS Insurance Services, this is Ryan on a recorded line. How may I help you today? The transferring agent in South Africa is already going to have your client on the phone, and he's going to do an introduction, and he's going to do a handoff, and boom, you're right into the presentation. The most important thing you need to do from the get-go is just to confirm the information. Make sure their name is spelled right. Get their date of birth. What state are they calling from? And then, of course, give a little bit of background about who you are. Now, this is our SOS, Final Expense Life Insurance Company here, agency, I should say. But this is where you might want to put your background, all right? Your story. Maybe it's, hey, reason why I got into this business because when I had to bury my grandma, this is what happened to me. This is what happened to my family when I had to bury a loved one. This is why I got into this business, is because I saw what occurred at my loved one's funeral, and I don't want it to happen to your loved ones. So why are we selling this plan? It's a final gift to the seniors, all right? So when they give this final gift to their children, that senior's final bills will be taken care of. You know, the last thing we want to have happen is have a couple children here, right, that has to pay a huge $15,000 burial bill or final expense bill. You know, I'd hate to have them put it on a credit card. Or maybe there's a couple children involved and one kid is well off, one kid's not so much, and one kid's married. The last thing you want to do at your loved one's funeral is to create animosity, right? You want them to celebrate a life at their passing. You want them to grieve, but you also don't want to add that final bill to that surviving spouse or child that's grieving. You want to make sure that this is a final gift that they're going to leave to their children so they don't get left with a huge $15,000 bill. So anything you can do to build your rapport, some personal examples, talk a little bit about how long you've been in the industry, what you do. You're a shopper, right? I like to use my insurance company example. When, like, for example, auto insurance. When we go shopping for auto insurance, you call the broker. He's looking at about 10, 15 different companies. And depending upon your driving record, might determine his recommendation, right? So if I'm a pristine driver, I have no tickets, you know, I've had zero problems, they'd probably recommend maybe State Farm or Allstate, right? But if I have a bunch of DUIs and a bunch of speeding tickets, that guy on the phone is probably going to recommend 1-800 the general, right? So what we're trying to do is let them know that, number one, we're going to shop the market for them based upon not only their age, but most importantly, their health impairment. Because we're going to send diabetics to one company, and we're going to send you know, some other impairment to another company. It's our job to shop the market so they can get not only an affordable plan, but a plan that's going to cover them comprehensively. We're going to try to find that product that fits that client's impairment. And how do we do that? Very simply, by asking the health questions and asking them to get their RX medication list. If they can provide you their list of medications, and you have not only these application questions before you call the carrier, but you can basically confirm a little bit about their medications. So when you do call the company, there's no surprises, and you can get a policy issued and paid in 10 to 15 minutes. So we have a really nice, easy issue product with everything to say from the start of the presentation to the warm-up to who you are to establishing the need, right? So, you know, the most important part, can you tell me a little bit about your current situation? Are you looking for final expense insurance, or is it something else you're looking for? As you'll find in our presentation, an answer to a question that you present to your client, if it's a yes, you're going to provide this answer. If it's a no, you're going to go to this answer, right? So it's a very easy process, a very easy thing to follow along while you're talking to your clients over the phone. I do recommend that you read this over in front of the mirror 10, 15 times. Get comfortable, make it yourself, make it your own, right? Do some role playing with your spouse or your children. But the most important thing is the warm-up, is to explain who you are and get on the same side of the fence as your client. Because remember, they are going to be providing some personal information to you over the phone, like their medications, like their social, like their bank account information, right? It's always good to make sure that you've built the rapport. So it's very easy when the insurance company asks those questions, they don't come back, go, oh, I don't want to give that information over the phone, right? You need to make sure that you establish the rapport and the need. You might even say, hey, if you're going to sell this product, you might say, hey, you may have been offered final expense life insurance over the phone, and you've gotten to the Social Security question, or you've gotten to the, hey, it's time to make a payment, give me your bank account information. You might experience a lot of roadblocks at that time, right? Maybe you could spin it like this. Hey, look, I know that we're talking over the phone today, and this is really important information and very private information. That's why I recommend that we do business with Americo, because you're going to provide that information directly to the insurance company rather than somebody like me. And just try to build it in a way to get over that objection, that hump, that roadblock, because that is where you're going to get it at the Social Security, at the, hey, what's your bank account routing and account numbers, if you have not built that rapport ahead of time. So establish the need and push on through. If they say, oh, I got term insurance, sometimes you might end up getting a final expense live call transfer, but it's actually the kid that's buying a plan for mom, right? Well, hey, no problem. We can get it taken care of. But, you know, that kid might also have term insurance needs. So, you know, there's other products there that you can talk about term insurance to the younger age clients. Do you have the new insurance versus the old insurance? They're going to be like, whoa, what do you mean new versus old? Well, the old is the below the ground benefits. The benefits will pay out when you pass away. When you become passed away under the ground is only when these checks are going to fly out to your heirs. The new type of insurance actually allows you to become critically, chronically, or terminally ill, still live, and give you access to that death benefit when you have all these huge bills. So the new versus old term insurance is a nice little talking point to get these clients to start thinking about their current coverage in force, right? Oh, I do have 500,000, but it's with XYZ insurance company. Oh, well, I noticed that that company doesn't have living benefits. That's the new type of insurance I'm talking about. If you become critically, chronically, terminally ill, I can go ahead and accelerate your death benefit when your family needs it the most. When you're looking at going on vacation, maybe you only have 2 years left to live and you want to take the family out on vacation. Maybe you got major hospital bills. So this is a way to accelerate the death benefit while you're still above the ground, the above the ground benefits. So that's just some ideas on some live call transfers. You might get some young people that want to purchase it for mom. You might get some old people that you can get some referrals to go back and sell some term insurance to their children. Another product that you guys should probably think about, and it's a great product to build rapport, it's actually a product through Mutual of Omaha, and it's their children's whole life product. I'll tell you why we're selling this, all right? One, it's cheap. A grandparent can purchase a whole life plan on his grandchild up to $50,000 of coverage in case he passes away and needs to go into the ground, God forbid, right? But why are we really purchasing it? The reason why we're purchasing the Mutual of Omaha children's term whole life product is because it allows all of these kids to increase their coverage throughout their life without proving insurability. So at 5 times throughout his life, that kid that is now, is currently maybe 1 year old, 6 months old, whatever it is, and he's got 50,000 in coverage, he can now increase his coverage up to 300,000 without proving insurability. So why is that important? Well, today, that child that's still a baby that hasn't gone to the school yet, they could very well, once they get to school, be diagnosed by the professionals, the teachers that see this every day, that maybe the kid needs to be on an ADD med or an ADHD med. Well, when that happens, yet the kid doesn't really tend to know, or the parents don't know the kid's going to need to be on that medication until they get on at that school age. And when they become diagnosed and have to be on some sort of ADHD med or ADD med, it ruins his insurability, right? So by offering a grandchild whole life policy to a senior, you are insuring that kid's future insurability risk. And I think if you give them the example of, hey, a lot of kids are getting diagnosed with ADHD and ADD, but not until they become of school age. It's important to buy a small plan today, $10,000 to $50,000, to ensure that child's future insurability risk. If that kid does end up having ADHD or ADD, he can't get insurance. But with this plan in force, he's able to increase it all the way up to 300,000 throughout his life. It's a great way, again, to ensure the client's future insurability risk. When you start offering a children's or a grandchildren's policy to a senior, it's not only going to build rapport, because a senior is going to jump at it. It's so cheap. It's going to basically put you number one of all agents if you happen to be in competition. There is no way that that senior who bought a senior plan as well as a grandchild plan is going to cancel your plan because he realizes, oh, that guy was the one that hooked me up with my grandchild policy. So if you want to sell multiple policies, always talk about that grandparent's family. Do you have any grandchildren? You do? Oh, great. Let me tell you about something before we get into this senior plan, because I think it's going to be of interest to you. You sell them on that, the senior final expense plan is going to be an easy sale for you, okay? So we got Mutual of Omaha's Americo's Eagle Premier senior product, and then we have Mutual of Omaha's grandchild policy. Let's get back to the call center script, okay? After you've established some need, you're going to see that there's just talking points you're going to go through. You're going to maybe talk a little bit about their current life insurance coverage. You're looking at trying to see if you can generate additional sales here, right? You're always going to be looking for referrals, right? So always try to generate referrals. If the senior has bought a plan, maybe they have some their kids that are in their 40s or 50s that you need to reach out to. Always be collecting family phone numbers so you can make sure that the entire family unit is taken care of. you're going to find that if you end up selling the wife today, there's a good chance you're also going to sell the husband a plan. And if he's got grandkids, you're going to sell a grandkid policy. I mean, there is a great chance every household sale is going to turn into 3 applications, okay? You just got to make sure you build the rapport after the warm-up and go through your need analysis. So I'm going to provide you all of this information after the phone call. We're going to make sure everybody's contracted with Americo and Mutual of Omaha. Again, Americo has the easiest online sales process. There's nothing to turn in. All you got to do is put the information down on the worksheet and do a 3-way call-in with the insurance carrier. With Mutual of Omaha, you actually do what's called an e-app. All right, you're going to do an e-sign e-application with Mutual of Omaha. Another great A+ rated company, you name it. So there's a lot of information here. And this is our talking points from the beginning, the introduction, all the way to the end with objections. I want you guys to study this, know this, you know, go over it, make it your own, put your own background, put your own, you know, stories, personalize it. And I think you'll find that selling over the phone not only takes a little skill, because you got to get comfortable not only doing the talking, but also the navigating if you're doing an e-app. But it's important now, most importantly during COVID, that you guys train up and get ready to sell business over the phone. I do honestly believe that the old way of selling life insurance, belly to belly with a paper application, is now passed everybody by. You have to be ready to sell over the phone. And we have the tools, the products, as well as the back office support to help generate the leads, tell you what to say, and get you paid, because that's what we're here to do for you at SOS and On Point Insurance Strategies. Again, thank you guys for my time and your time. If you have any further questions, please reach back out to your MGA. I appreciate you. Have a nice day.